Hello, everybody. Welcome back to some Sunday night RGL Season 13 invite. I am Sile, your producer, and I'm joined by Delta Market and Giblert on the cast. But before anything, if I'm speaking, that means we're probably advertising some merch, bro. So, yeah, we got some merch, some kind of cool stuff. If you want to support us on a monthly basis, this is basically your Patreon to support the Fireside crew and keep these casts going. !subscribe in the chat. You can pledge a monthly amount and receive some perks like channel VIP, guides about our production setup and our suite, and all that good stuff. But with that being said, I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Let's get straight to the cast. Gibbert, what's up, my man?
Yeah, glad to be back. Been a little bit while since I casted a little bit last season, but first cast of Season 13 so far. I know we got a lot of new teams, some old teams, and invite this season, and I'm very excited for this match. Could be closer than you'd expect. Delta, what about you?
Yeah, definitely. As you said, GlobalClan Fire is kind of, you could think of them as the gatekeeper team into playoffs. For the past 3 or 4 seasons, they've kind of placed right below playoffs or made it into playoffs. So beating them is kind of a rite of passage for any invite team that wants to make it into the upper seeding. FGP is definitely a newer player into invite. Most of their teams, this is their first time. Most of the players on FGP, this is their first time playing an invite. And they've kind of done a lot of upset rounds versus other teams already. Beating GlobalClan Ice on some rounds when everyone thought it was going to be a quick 5-0 was a good example of that. And so really think they have some potential here.
Yeah, but I mean, they beat let's see, a GlobalClan Ice, not this team, different team, GlobalClan Ice, 4-1, and then this team, and it was also on process. So keep in mind, this probably is one of their better maps. GlobalClan Fire, on the other hand, losing to Frutech, but taking it 3-4 on this map. But then think again, you have GlobalClan Ice beating Frutech as well. So who knows what's gonna happen? I mean, on paper, obviously. Transitive property doesn't always work in TF2, but on paper, like you said, I agree that GCF would be probably the team that's favored here, considering FGP. I think pretty much all of them, aside from Apathy, who's ringing today. This is the first season of Invite, but nonetheless, they did have a nice little comeback. Had a really somewhat poor start to last season in advance, but ended up coming back, making playoffs, and now already got a win in Invite. So going pretty well for them so far, and excited to see what they can do here.
Yeah, what do you think about the ringer situation? Do you think that's going to make a big difference? As you said, Apathy, I believe 4 or 5 seasons now he's played Invite, and Frosty didn't have a season, wasn't able to make this match. Do you think that's going to be something to consider?
Yeah, I mean, I could see going both ways. Because on one hand, Apathy, like I did say, he does have the experience and has, played against these exact players a couple times before as well in other seasons. On the other hand, I mean, Frosty has played with these people, been pals with these guys for a while. I believe he's on the team last season as well. So I could see it going either way. I think it should probably end up evening out, being essentially basically the same, is what I imagine. But we'll have to see. And I know Apathy very solid all around on both any of the projectile classes, both demo and soldier. So I'm sure he can do fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have to have a ringer, this is definitely the map for it. This is definitely, like, if you would call any map the default, it's definitely process. So hopefully doesn't make a big impact for them, lets them play the way they want to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think compared to some other maps, Roamer is a little bit less impactful compared to, say, like if this was like a Gully Wash or a Metal or something like that. Or even just a map like maybe Bagel, where just like the soldiers just have so much impact on that map with the bombs and controlling the houses, going for flanks, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think, I mean, I totally agree with you there. If you're gonna have to have a ringer roamer on any map, I think process isn't a bad one to have it on.
Yeah, and I guess we can pivot a bit. This season has definitely been very interesting, to say the least, as it's been starting off. We've only had about 5 matches played for most of the invite teams, and Froyo's already down a point, and it wasn't even to a particularly well-known team. It wasn't expected. So this season might be going in an unexpected direction. Gibbler, do you think there's anything to that? Will we see more upsets as the weeks go by?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely possible. I mean, after seeing that happen, I think anything's possible. And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, the season of invite sucks," but I mean, Furutech already losing to the 7th seeded team right now, so who knows what could happen. Furutech, aside from that, is they've had some pretty close. They had the one close win over the GlobalClan Fire team as well. Just barely won that one by 1 round on this very map. So who knows what could happen. I think there's I'm not saying it's open for anyone to win, but on any given night, I think most teams could beat each other. I think it's definitely feasible.
TF2's always had its fair share of naysayers, but when push comes to shove, it kind of always finds a way to keep things competitive. And I think that's really showing up. I think a lot of people's expectations about how this would go have not been followed, which makes for great TF2 and really exciting experiences from the viewership side. So again, I'm really excited to be here. For people just tuning in, FGP, definitely an up-and-coming invite team. GCF can kind of be seen as a gatekeeper team you have to be able to beat in order to get into playoffs. And that is really what we're watching here.
Yeah, I think, after that performance against Fro, they very well could take it to that next level, maybe get, finish in the top 3, place on the podium. I could definitely see it happening. Outside of like Furutech, which has a bunch of experienced invite players, of course you have Darkest Nights, Witness Gaming do have other experienced players on those teams as well, but they're not quite as much as like maybe some earlier seasons, relatively. Because you have on those teams, you'll have like a mixture of players that played just a couple seasons of invite, along with the people that played for long time, for years.
Mm-hmm. And to avoid repeating ourselves, I'd like to ask you, Giblert, a question. For those who don't know, Giblert has played an invite. He's played a bunch of seasons in TF2. How many of the players in this server have you kind of played against? And is there any insight you can give into what you can expect from some of these people, if they're playmakers or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I played through against, I think, pretty much everyone here. Played against, even also had Draco subbing on my team for the that one season. He didn't play any matches, but yeah, I actually did. I was very impressed with how he played in the scrims. I felt like he had clearly learned a lot from the previous times I played against him, like with his advanced team when he's on Rome and before that. So I'm excited to see what he can do here. I've always thought he had some maybe underappreciated potential. I know he has a reputation of being a little bit of a troll sometimes, but he's a pretty solid player overall. Very excited to see him. Apathy, like I said, he's been pretty reliable for some time now. Of course, at the same time, I do kind of wonder, he's played with the S13 team for so long. And when you play with one team, at least this is my experience, when you play with one team for so long, you can kind of get into the, get used to playing with that team. So like when you play with other teams, it almost becomes a little bit uncomfortable, unfamiliar. But then again, I know he plays Pugs a decent amount as far as I remember it. So maybe you won't have as much trouble with that as someone like me would. And maybe we can talk about this a little bit more later, but now we're getting started. So Delta, take it away for the first mid.
Oh, absolutely. I think I will watch Averted this mid. As we know, process mids usually don't anymore see soldiers commit on the demo, but they can still start off spicy either way. This mid, both demos mirroring each other, spamming their stickies across the point, and so far, both teams playing a more central tight mid, as Throne does actually take quite a bit of damage from Averted spam. Fancy Sun taking the high ground so far for GCF, Wonder bombing up on that high ground, and no, we have a high bomb initiating by Saxophone, but it's actually just a fade bomb, not committing on anything yet. Wonder bombing over to the left side, takes down Apathy, and that's the first kill down. And actually, it's going to be Draco getting caught out. What great rockets by Saxophone to section that player off. It's going to be Throne trying to hold it down and choke, but he's not able to. Nothing can stop the tide of GCF. Wonder bombing in for his team, manages to live with 20, 30 health back in choke.
Yeah, I love seeing this aggression, just not giving them any space, not giving them any time to breathe, making sure that they don't have time to set up on the second year, especially with no demo down, just flooding through. Love to see the aggression. They're running this all the way last, taking a little peek. We'll see if they get a quick sack, and yep, we have Scout coming in already. Onto Draco, we have a soldier in on the right. Both get cleaned up, no force coming out, but yeah, I really love the speed that GCF is playing with.
Yeah, didn't want to let that sentry gun go up and waste time, but unfortunately didn't work out for them. It's going to look like they're going to not be playing off of their sniper. They're just going to send a soldier Apathy straight in through lower, but he's in soldier prison versus scouts on high ground. That's going to be Apathy falling. Counter sack not successful for SGP.
And just a touch late, so I mean, we'll see if what GCF can manage to do here.
Yeah,
as far as taking advantage of that, maybe peeking 5 a little bit.
Yeah. Giblert, I'm a little surprised. FGP doesn't have an engineer.
Yeah, I'm really not a fan of not having an engineer on this last, or at least some sort of heavy, just some sort of extra denial. It's just very hard to hold all these doors without. And yeah, Saxon getting in so easily, already behind. Draco Knight, he gets a nice sticky trap. Bomb comes in on foot socks.
Gets the force.
Comes out. Yeah, it's just a single soldier too. Yeah, I mean, just a heavy, a sentry, anything would have been able to stop that.
Yeah.
It would have made it hard for him to get in the first place as well. So.
As you said, the start of that went as well as it could have for FGP, getting a trap kill, but it doesn't even matter. As you mentioned, Draco spamming from up top, but GCF knowing with their ad, FGP, the moment they try to push would get immediately used on. No chance of that working. So now we have the GCF players getting buffed up, and it looks like they're going to take some sort of lobby Uber. Saxophone in here, just spamming 5. And actually, Throne might be getting caught out before the Uber even happens. He's only on 3 health, dead. Uber popped, averted taking it in, bombing down the sentry gun built by Scouty. Fancy Sun early point pressure, and it's going to be a heaven fight with Wonder kind of leading the charge up in the high ground. Magic is trying to...
Wonder coming down, focusing down the Heavy, but actually Heavy doing a lot of work here right now, and Rooted possibly going to be cleaned up here.
Yeah, it started off so well. Wonder also taking that high ground there. Good point time, but it seemed like that delayed Heavy out of spawn. There was not enough focus fire to take it down, and if the Heavy doesn't die in the first couple of seconds, it's probably going to be bad news.
Yeah, it felt like maybe there's just a little bit of indecisiveness on deciding to cross and finish versus just playing the cap, but it looked like some people took some damage on the cap, which allowed the Heavy to kind of reestablish a foothold and manage to hold that. So, really good start to that, just not quite they wanted.
Yeah,
down the
yeah, something we should definitely note is there is a spy, but GCF did kill the medic during that Uber, so it is ad for them. So they're going to be trying again. The spy is decloaking in 1, though. As they're walking through, is Throne going to get on Divine? No, the Uber comes out. The spy is caught again. Throne dying during the Uber again. It's going to be Wonder bombing across point, and instead of fighting Bunker, Wonder just stands on point and caps it. I think he was on Pain Train, actually.
A really good point play by GCF there in that time. Losing Throne once again early on both those. Got away with the first time, but second time, not that lucky out the spy. He did actually get quite close to them on spy, so is what it is sometimes. Last mid, very slow by both teams, just both teams playing each side, and but then GCF getting away with a better focus fire and snowballing that very quickly.
Yeah, definitely can't blame him for playing Spy. You just want to go for that whenever they have ad. No point in not bringing it out. But so far, it looks like a slightly different mid. GCF is kind of playing on this right side a lot more. Saxophone bombing the pack, and it's going to be averted, finding a kill onto Scouty. Apathy messing up the high bomb on the backboard. Every soldier knows that feeling, getting stuck on that boundary box. And it's going to be GCF bringing up the aggression as Saxophone already goes behind. He's in IT, and Throne is dead. FGP is down too with a soldier behind them, and they don't know. Saxophone's committing to the long flank through one door. As GCF keeps up the aggression on the other side of the map, they're going to no doubt try to do a pinch play here with Saxophone. Saxophone bombing in on the medic, drops! The long con worked out. Uber popped on the other side as GCF pops in choke.
As well, this is catastrophic for FGP.
Definitely. Apathy caught in IT. Ed just going to finish that off.
Yeah, it just seemed like they completely lost track of that soldier. I think that Saxophone that got behind just got massive value. As they're going for that trade, just wasn't looking towards who was behind, ended up dropping, then Draco getting cleaned up at the end. That's going to be very hard to hold. It's already got the cap time, no traps on it, and that's going to be a quick 2 rounds in favor of GlobalClan Fire. I keep getting confused because I expect GlobalClan Fire to be on the red team, but they're on the blue team, so it's kind of messing with my head a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, that flank just worked out perfectly for Saxophone. Unfortunately, no one spotted it for FGP.
Yeah, it just looks like GCF just able to play these mids a little bit better in terms of the focus fire, just able to find picks, people caught out a little overextended, just snowballing that one pick and a complete mid-fight victory every time, both 2 times we've seen so far. So we'll see what happens this time. Apathy in with a bomb now. A lot of damage, trying to get through this right side, just getting completely stuffed by the spam. Now kind of stuck in this corner. And yeah, Soldier comes in, cleans up the med. And that looks like this is going to be a wipe in favor of GCF.
Yeah, they got corralled in the right side. GCF played that perfectly. No one feeds early into... Oh, Apathy! What a skip jump through Divine, hitting a great surf. And not going to quite find anything there.
Yeah, this could be a very quick 3-0 if, they can't get something, make some miracle happen. Gotta be very careful for the demo here. Able to spot it, but don't have the injury, only have the heavy, and still have Apathy not spawning, so might not be able to get buffed here in time. Scouty trying to take a hero shot over here, but they're all kind of forced on this left side, and GCF already has a lot of space, able to milk it in quite a bit. Going across, Scout now playing the point, all FGB just completely stuck in spawn. Soldier gets on the cap, but they do manage to take down one of the scouts on the cap, playing it a little bit too long, not able to quite finish it. And this actually looks quite good for FGP now if they can stay together. Quad going big, getting a solo kill over on Apathy over here, and now 3-on-3.
Yeah, Ed almost getting the point there, but Sax Throne has it on lockdown. As you said, might have been a little overzealous perhaps of GCF going in. They got a lot of space, but weren't quite with all their players there, but they're going to be trying to deny the second cap. Fancy Sun running across the high ground, but no, the cap goes down. Magic capping it off, and full ad.
Scout ends up getting the force. KJ also getting another kill on top of the force by himself, making huge plays there.
Yeah, demo down is not what FGP wants. They tried to take a fight in sewer and lost both their soldiers for it, and the med might be caught. Wonder bombing in, trying to land into lower, and spoons onto foot socks. That's going to be basically a wipe for FGP. Scouty, last player alive, stands still, just eats the pipe. Nothing they can do.
Spawn times as well. Just up to Draco to try to make a miracle happen. Wonder already in position, making it very difficult. And yeah, that looks like that's going to be a round in favor of GCF. Got all the spawns strapped up, thrown, trying to get something, but not able to. Yeah, it looked like a pretty good last point of hers. They got a lot of cap pressure on, got him pretty deep. It's just I think the scout dying on point there ended up turning the last push in favor of FGP for a little bit. It's one of those things that's really tempting. It's really tempting to just try to finish the cap when it's so close like that, but at the same time, if losing a scout right there can completely change your ability to recollapse and just finish off the fight. But nonetheless, GCF was able to recover on second, and now up 3-0.
Yeah, Sax landing early on left, gets punished for it this time though. Scouty, oh my god, takes down 2. Fancy Sun and Saxophone get punished for their early play onto right. What a great notice it by FGP that GCF was kind of just doing the same thing at the start of mids and definitely punished them for it. That's very good play there. Draco coming through front door of sewer, Throne bombing through choke, and it looks like it's going to be a walk through the Al-Qaeda area, but Footstocks eats a pipe down to very low HP. And now Throne's going to be bombing in, kind of just trying to make space for his team, not quite able to find anything. Scouty runs through IT, Apathy bombing back onto the point. They're just kind of trading spam here, seeing who to go better for, but it's going to be for GCF. That's 2 down for FGP.
Yeah, it looked like they just had so much space. I would have liked to see someone try to get a scout onto the spires, you know, see people try to bomb these people on low ground, because all of GCF kind of just backed up into the corner, but ended up getting the picks and then able to get, you know, retake their space. And Spoon coming in onto Footsocks. Force does come out nonetheless, even though Wonder doesn't get the Spoon, and that's going to be, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to get anything. Got to be very careful not to overchase with this as well, because now full Uber ad in favor of GCF here.
GCF down a player. It seems like they're gonna maybe wait for their spawner. They're just healing up in choke. Fancy Sun is feeling it out, trying to see what's happening. FGP set up on a pretty classic hold. Soldier on blue crate, soldier above sewer. Just spamming so far. Throne's taking a bunch of damage, though. GCF is playing this really patiently. Wonder's gonna be bombing in. Apathy trying to bomb into choke. Hitting good rockets, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be enough. That's going to be Apathy falling with no force going the way of FGP. And actually, Ed chasing into sewer might be catching Throne.
Yeah, Scouty going down here, Throne able to get out, but still down 2 already. And so Uber very small, but nonetheless, looking like it might be caught here. Footsock's barely able to get out, looks like. Demo wasn't able to quite get there, but nonetheless, still gotta get a second point off this. Just gotta be very careful with the counter pop from FGP. Maneuvering their way through this lower here. Looks like they might just pop it straight back in. Yeah, Divine pretty far back though, should be safe here. Averta getting Joko a little high though. Looks like he will go down. Not gonna be able to cap 2 as well, able to walk into mid. No traps here, just able to see if they can take space. Apathy a little bit faster, gotta be careful. And yeah, ends up going down right as we say that as well.
Yeah, Divine might not have been caught, but Saxophone and Averted is definitely enough to do some serious rolling of these points. And it looks like GCF did a really good job kiting back there as they don't lose anyone else, even though their demo died.
Yeah, you gotta be very careful. KJ Quad just ready to make a big playthrough. Okay, but not that time. Actually, he did make enough space for the, looks like GCF kind of poking at this choke here. Very walking in, Fancy Sun now taking control of that rock, but sliding against it. Still have the number disadvantage. Otherwise, they're gonna go back to their second. Do have a little bit of Uber out as well. I'm not sure if they know. Doesn't look like they're posturing for it. It looks like it's probably just gonna even out here, most likely.
Yeah, definitely. FGP has kind of run into the wall here where they haven't been able to push past mid. They've not really been able to force the medic on this point. GCF's hold has been ironclad. We're going to have to see FGP try to break it. And I'm kind of expecting they're just going to try to take a dry fight again through lower and hope it works differently.
Yeah, I'd like to see what they do. This is the first time we've really seen in this even situation where they're one sending the sack, so very curious what they're going to decide to do here. Wonder, kind of ratting in the corner over here, able to get out though. Gotta be very, Magic already pretty low, going down very quickly. Able to get the trade though, Saxophone going down at the same time, the throne, so not gonna lose too much. Scouty also kind of ratting behind right here. Nice, winning 1v1 versus KG Quad, but Wonder able to clean him up. Still, 4v4 is a good situation to be in if you're the defending team. I'd like to see FGP continue to pressure here. That's down 2 for
yeah.
GCF as well. I'd like to see them keep pressuring him. Actually, Wonder's gonna be the one sacking back in. That looks like he might have like stuck in. Yeah, that's gonna be a force. Another great play by Wonder here, able to go down.
Yeah. It might have been a 4v4, but FGP had no scouts. It's going to be thrown on the other side, trying to bomb in, but isn't able to get anything.
That's fair. Yeah, I actually didn't notice that they didn't have any scouts. But as we say, Saxophone trying to make spaceship getting shot out of the air by the sniper. And Uber coming out, and yeah, looks like Footslux will be caught here, trying to sneak out the choke, not to put the surf on the sticky, and that's going to be huge Uber for GCF. Saxophone now sliding in, trying to clean up these last few stragglers. No one on the cap yet, so Cap's kind of unattended right now, chasing these frags. That's as they set up here on second.
Yeah, I think they might just run straight in if they want to be aggressive enough, although... Oh, they don't have mid, never mind.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like FGP is going to be able to do a whole lot here. It looks like Abridged already got the sticky traps up. Not much they can do. Scouty trying to do what he can on Heavy, but looks like this is probably just going to be a back spawn situation. I'd be very careful, Saxophone. Already kind of taking a peek through 2, stopping him from getting the sentry set up. Love to see the speed, just getting to the spots, taking down the gun, knowing where he needs to be. Now that's going to make this very small ad push a little bit smoother for GCF. Like to see it.
Oh, Apathy though, trading it out might play in their favor, as Apathy will show up first, even with the longer spawn. FGP, I don't think they're building right now. That might be a bit of a mistake. They'd be at 80%. Unfortunately, they're only at 70, and GCF not going to take advantage of that, though. They think the ad is a lot closer.
Yeah, also Wonder died right then, so they had no soldiers for that. So with only 20% ad, I think that it's very sensible to call it off, especially since they've had so much success with their sacks. No need to take low percentage Uber ad when you can get the full ad with how reliably things have been going for their sacks.
Definitely, especially considering last time they tried to rush things, it didn't really go their way. Foot Socks taking a lot of damage there, but not falling. Scouty finding a great headshot onto KJ Quad. Thrown, though, not able to find anything with the counter sack.
Yeah, and doesn't look like... I'm very curious to see if anyone comes up off glass. No wonder.
Oh my god. Foot Socks forced to an air shot attempt. That's going to be full ad for the side of GCF. FGP going to have to pull something out here unless they want to go down 4 rounds.
I mean, kind of like what we were saying earlier, just the fact that, I mean, the sacks have been so successful and so consistent for GCF here. No reason to rush things. They're just getting it pretty much every time. Wonder, even with very little support in some of these situations, just able to go in and get the force.
Yeah, coming through 1, Fancy Sun leading it down, taking down Apathy, taking over the bunker area. The gun finally falls down. Even player count, though. And when all said and done, it's just going to be the sides kind of mirroring each other. Heavy up for the side of FGP. Point pressure coming out, but thrown. Excellent bomb, helping clean up Fancy Sun on point. And it's going to be GCF running away with disadvantage and 2 players down.
It seems like what kind of killed the push was they're just a little bit slow to kill that gun. We ended up Soldier coming back in onto the med.
Oh.
He dies, but he does take down Foot Socks. That's going to be another advantage in favor of GlobalClan Fire.
They can't keep getting away with it, but somehow they do. GCF turning a terrible situation in their favor, and it's going to be FGP with 75 disad, it looks like. And
bigger than last time, I believe.
Well, looks like they're going for the Highlander setup.
Yeah, I do like to see that the engineer on FGP is moving the gun around, not putting it in the same place every time, not being too predictable, forcing to actually spot it. They also have the annoying spam from the scored shot can cause. No, as we say that, never mind. GCF coming into 4 here now. Onto the gun, do spot it pretty early, does go down pretty quickly. A lot of point time already, and that's just going to be 4-0 in favor of GCF.
Yeah, no one, with the Highlander setup, it's not bad for stalling a bit, but you gotta have someone on the dime ready to block point, and unfortunately, that didn't happen. 4-0 for GCF. I think I'm gonna watch Averted's POV again on this mid. GCF just running it down, even though they lost last mid.
Yeah,
So,
I think, what they did, how they adapted last time, FGP, very good, just going, mixing up going to the left side. But this time, kind of like the first mid, just both teams playing their side very slowly. After now kind of rotating a little bit on this left. But nothing happening so far.
yeah, Ed's really taking over FGP's blue crate side of the map. Oh, wait, it's a sniper. I didn't even notice. Sniper and choke for Scouty. Averted's just going to bomb in with Wonder. That's like a 5-man bomb, and it's going to be trading down badly for GCF. It's going to be Magic really getting a lot of the frags on point, taking down Divine, pistoling Ed, taking this 5v1 on point, and Ed not finding anything as FGP wins another mid.
Maximum flying in from IT though, gets the force. Not able to quite get the med, but getting the force there. Nice salvage by Saxon there. I just feel like a big problem for FGP. I feel like they've completely lost track of a lot of these people who are behind. They're unspotted and just getting caught off guard like 3 or 4 times now has led to really bad things like that happening quite often. And
Yeah.
they're already in. Trying to just go for the spoon. Not able to get it though. That is going to be pretty easy second in favor of FGP, and Ubers are pretty much even, so FGP now in a situation where they can send some sacks and maybe get something happen, maybe get around on the board here.
Yeah, definitely. KJ Quad building up the sentry gun, wants to make sure it's up to protect the medic, but Saxophone going down. FGP has a chance to try to dry. It looks like they're going in through 5. Gun already down. Wonder bombing onto the blue crates to watch 5, but it's going to be a headshot ringing out for KJ Quad as Apathy goes down. FGP's very hurt, but they have player advantage.
They get looks bad, and I'd really like to see them keep pressuring here. Trying to use these numbers, bully all the doorways, and Uber's gonna come straight out. Interesting.
Yeah, but gonna be... Seems like they're just ending in rollout. I don't know if they want to commit here. Their medic's in after the Uber just gets bombed in the small doorway, falls. Wonder bombing into 2, gets another kill, I believe. That's gonna be 2 down, including the medic for FGP. Apathy bombing into heaven. Scouts playing point. It looks like FGP. Oh my god, they turned this around. That's going to be a round for them.
The last 30 seconds just completely broke my brain.
Yeah, sometimes when your med dies, it gives you advantage. And it seems that's what happened. FGP 4-1. They have a chance to turn it around.
Yeah, I've been silent for like the last minute, just trying to process the last 30 seconds. The very odd Uber, and then medic dying, staying in, but then coming back in, turning it around. Just, good job by FGP though, nonetheless. At the end of the day, you win the round, that's what matters.
Yeah, this mid, I believe Saxophone's behind in IT. FGP said, fuck this, we're going right side, and that's what they've done. Apathy bombing over, just rotational type mid. Have not seen this yet in this match, and it's going to be Saxophone taking a lot of damage, but it's going to be Throne who dies first. Scouty on Sniper again, killing Divine. Medic down. FGP is playing a really good job playing these slow type mids with their Sniper.
On Wonder now. The Sniper to mid's working. It's forcing really strange situations, but hey, it's working.
Yeah, Saxophone
back in with the pick.
Saxophone trying to flank, but I don't know if it'll come in time. Please don't lose track of the soldier again. Hits one good rocket, but maybe not enough. Demo bombing in, Footsocks dodging, not getting forced. Excellent, they want a mid and have full Uber ad.
Yeah, rated very low here, just able to get the pack. Probably gonna clean up or just left behind. Excuse me, I've actually lost track of which side switch, but yeah, rated going down nonetheless. And now big ad for in favor of FGP. Maybe able to get a second round on the board here.
Yeah, we know...
we got the illegal engineers. We gotta keep an eye on this. Okay, one of them switched off. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, wouldn't want to have a repeat of some of the situations we've seen in the past. But full ad. But they have a sniper. Scouty's been on fire, though. I think all Scouty has to do is kill one person, and it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not ideal, but as long as you can get that pick, make it a 5v5, I think it's fine. Soldier coming in behind. It's going to make it harder for Scouty. Yeah, Scouty going to go down quickly. And Throne also going down. Not able to get a whole lot of you, just really good kiting.
Yeah, Footsocks though lived, it looks like, so at least they're going to keep their medic, maybe keep their medic alive. KJ Quad's on the chase, Wonders on the case through IT, bombing into Choke. Oh my god, almost getting it, not quite. And yeah, full ad for GCF.
And nonetheless, really good job also happy winning that 1v1 with KJ Quad there, slowing them down, giving them some time to escape. But down 2 does make it a bit more difficult, but they have, 60 out, they have time to wait. No need to rush this, especially when you're up 4-1. Game's going well so far. Now it's starting to get some info, clean the 6 pretty easily, and able to walk in here pretty safely so far.
Yeah, looks like there's a fight in IT, unless my eyes are deceiving me. That's Scouty going behind in IT, getting on the demo. No, he's going to be running away. Seems like there was a miscommunication there. And Throne's going to die for it. Scouty going down to very low. I guess they wanted to do some sort of pinch play, but it didn't get communicated all the way.
Yeah, Magic, just barely getting denied this. That's going to make it quite difficult for FGP to hold this now 4v3. At the very least, able to get some space for GCF here, which has been doing very well so far this game. Putting a lot of heavy pressure on FGP right now. Got plus 6 on point, got to watch out for that. Soldiers now rolling out though, and Saxophone going down, looks like on the Spire.
Yeah, GCF going down too. Very surprising because Averted walked all the way in through Choke into IT. I thought that was going to go well for them, but they went down too. FGP just walking in through Choke, sending Apathy and making a lot of space. All these FGP players take 1 million damage, but because GCF is down too, they can't follow up, and it's going to be Magic falling. But does it matter because GCF is still down too? Wonder bombing in. But I know Apathy goes down. The player had completely nullified. Averted bombing into Choke, and it's FGP who comes out on the worst side of that.
Yeah, just classic focus fire, snowballing the fight very quickly. Just one person going down to the next, and now in a very bad spot. And almost another one going down. Sack coming in on Footsocks. Wonder doing very well so far in the Sack today. KJ Quad able to get a pick at the very least. Another bomb comes in, Saxophone able to get the force that time. Such good pressure from Averted, able to get a lot of good damage. But at the same time, I believe Scouty able to get the force onto GCF. Is it worth it though? Everybody going, I believe it was Magic actually, but everyone going down, only 2 up. Will be some ad in favor of GCF if the game doesn't end right here. I mean, only 2 up for FGP. Gonna be very hard to hold this.
Yeah, Scouty is on the spot as they are pushing through the 4 door. Wonder is just on point. Saxophone blocking it. That's going to be a trade, unfortunately, for FGP. They wanted a little more than that. Now they're going to have to hold with about 30% disadvantage on the Uber.
Yeah, so far the last pushes have looked... It seems like they've started consistently pretty well for GCF. Just a couple times taking a little bit too much damage or just losing somebody on the point because when they thought they had it, was very close. That's kind of turned some of these away from their favor. But I think as long as they're able to spot the gun, which it looks like they are able to this time, no one dies on point. I think this very easily could be game here.
Definitely.
So, yeah, and the sentry does go down, coming through the 4 door, worked last time. Another sentry coming up, able to switch off. Love the cap time. Someone does actually go down early. Heavy coming out here, doing a lot of damage. Get it blocking the point here, and yeah, GCF looks like they're gonna back off here, but looks like they might try to re-pushing to Vive, just walking straight in. KJ Quad getting some position over on this right side, taking some damage. It's still alive. Counter Uber comes in, under Averted. Averted goes down. KJ Quad goes down. Yeah, we get 2 picks here, no demo. That's gonna make it much easier to push out. Just gotta be very careful. Watch out for the back cap. Yeah, Wonder going forward, but getting blown by Throne there.
Yeah, no. Wonder tried. I saw him go for that. It didn't quite work out. I don't know if the stream caught it, but he tried to high bomb into 2 above their heads.
Yep. Pretty much dead even ad, but 2 denied, I believe, on the other side. Or maybe I actually kind of lost track. I'm not actually sure. Nonetheless, looks like teams are going to decide to play even. Just kind of chill here on the second. It's the Grant Vincent config, so have all the time in the world in theory for FGP to make a comeback here. Wondering once again walking back in, but whole team pretty much is walking for free. It looks like FGP maybe thinks it's bigger dis out than it is. It's actually pretty much dead even, but now it's giving GCF all the space.
Uber out
very, very early. And yeah, GCF gonna milk this so hard.
Not even using magic falls for that. Saxophone might be catching Footsocks in 1 door. Everyone in there goes down to 2 HP. That rocket was inches from killing 2 players. Oh my goodness. GCF full Uber ad going into the lobby area. Looks like they're taking it through the 4-door. Fancy Sun walking it straight through. Uber not just getting popped now. Sentry gun down. Throne is going to be falling behind the Uber. Apathy down. That's no soldiers up. Averted putting down these stickies onto the heavy. Saxophone playing the bunker area. The collapse isn't quite coming in because there's players behind GCF is dealing with, but now the heavy is getting focused down, and that's going to be 5-1 for GCF.
Yeah, very clean last push. I love seeing everybody focusing from a different angle. You had Saxophone shooting the heavy from heaven. Yeah, I believe Wonder is coming into one, shooting him. Then the pressure from Depot on the right, able to hit that. And, like I said, makes it much easier when no one dies on cap, which cost them, maybe two or three last pushes. But aside from that, their last pushes did look quite good for GCF. So, Delta, any thoughts on the match overall?
Yeah, the mids were going in FGP's favor a lot of the time. It seemed like their med would die or get forced, though, at the end of them, which was really unfortunate for them. I don't have the logs open, but I want to say FGP only actually won half the mids, or maybe one less.
At least 2 or 3 of them, yeah. So probably roughly 50-50 split. So not bad in terms of the mids, at least. Seemed like a lot of the earlier slower mids looked like GCF just had the better focus, better positioning, was able to get some picks on people just staying a little bit out of position, and then just snowball it from there. But I like the one where they decided to just completely go fast on the left, able to get those 2 people on the left very quickly, then snowball from there. Then the creative sniper mids, mixing up, ended up working very well. Ended up on the first time they tried, just baited a lot of aggression, just did a really good job cleaning those people up. But I think what you said earlier was also completely valid, and kind of like we were talking about earlier. It just feels like a lot of these situations are just losing track of the soldier getting behind or someone coming from behind, then ending up in a lot of forces and situations where they otherwise would have been a pretty good spot. As well as just a lot of times where the SAC comes in and just seems like the single soldier bomb getting a little bit too much pressure, a little bit too much value for what it should, especially for the invite level. Nonetheless, though, I mean, you did see some good things from FGP. Like I said, the mids look pretty good. DM-wise, didn't look like they're totally outmatched or anything by any means. Able to had some really nice last holds. Able to play their side, regroup. So a lot of good things for FGP nonetheless. I'm not counting on that. We're able to get to that round. And it definitely seems like this is a team that kind of thrives on kind of some of these chaotic situations. They're able to I'm still not sure what the plan was with that Uber. Were they
yeah,
Uber in it last really early, uneven. And then the med looked like maybe there's some confusion. Med stayed in, ended up going down.
Yeah.
Like I said, they won the round, able to recollapse and make some magic happen.
From their positioning at the end, the only thing I can assume is they wanted to take a solo Uber, make them flash, and then collapse on them immediately after the Uber. But that didn't quite work out. But hey, they still won.
Yeah, and personally, just from the Uber perspective, I'm still a little bit unsure. I mean, they have the number advantage. You'd think they'd want to be pressuring the doorways, using that number advantage to get a force. That's kind of the more standard meta play.
Definitely,
but,
yeah.
Maybe things have changed since the couple of seasons I played. I don't know, but it doesn't. I wouldn't think that'd be the case, as far as I know. But any final thoughts on the match, Delta?
No, I don't think I have anything else, but I think this still does show that this is a competitive season.
Yeah, I mean, it was 5-1 at the end of the day, and FGP able to get the mids, able to have some nice last holds. I mean, it was 5-1, but it didn't look like they're completely outclassed. And a lot of the issues that they made are things that looks like very very fixable, not like something that's like, oh, this can take seasons to fix. It felt like a lot of their problems were things that they could clean up with over the course of the season. Maybe make some nice little upset wins, make a nice little run towards the end with a special format. So we'll have to see how this pans out.
Yep.
Right, so yeah, Delta, any shout outs from your side?
Shout out to my team this season in Maine, Ninjagos. First time playing with them, so shout out to them.
Yeah, I don't have any other shout outs right now. Just thanks to Jay and Fireside for letting me cast. Thanks Delta for being my co-caster.
You're not gonna shout out Anglerfish?
No, they just play Overwatch now.
Oh, we don't like them anymore?
No, I mean I still watch them play, but I mean It's not part of the TF2 community anymore. They're part of the Overwatch community now. So is what it is. But aside from that, I believe that's all for me. Thanks for having me, and thanks both these teams for putting on a very good show.